I start this video with the most important thing, the comparison of stabilization quality. Consider that I own the Beholder DS1 since 18 months and already did a lot of projects with it, so I'm very familiar in using it. The Moza Air on the other side, I actually use one of my first times ever. The stabilization itself works quite well on both gimbals. Most of the shots I show you here are more advanced shots because I walk around the objects and try to keep it in the center. As you can see, this works a lot better with the Moza Air. I was never fully satisfied with my Beholder DS1, but it was okay for me because by using the warp stabilizer in Premiere Pro, I could fix that problem most of the time and still achieve good gimbal shots. Balancing works pretty much the same on both gimbals. Probably a bit easier on the Moza Air because on the Beholder you have to open 2 screws, while on the Moza Air only 1, but also because the Moza has those lines. The Beholder DS1 has a quick release blade while the Moza Air doesn't. For me that doesn't matter at all because I anyway always have my own quick release system attached. Both gimbals come in a bag, but the one of the Moza is a lot bigger. This is because it comes with a lot of extras like those handles. I always try to stay as light and flexible as possible. That's why I don't use them. Even the smaller Beholder bag I actually never take with me. I always simply transport the gimbal in my camera bag. The Moza Air is quite a bit larger than the Beholder. So while the Beholder fits into my camera bag just nicely, the Moza Air doesn't. I have to take the grip off to transport it, which isn't ideal but acceptable. The grip of the Beholder is wider and made out of metal, while the Moza Air is thinner and has rubber around. I prefer the wideness of the Beholder, but the rubber of the Moza. But in the end, it's just all about getting used to it. On the Beholder is the joystick at the front, while on the Moza at the back. Hard to say what is better. But the Moza joystick is a lot better. You can change the sensitivity of the turns. 2 things I prefer on the Beholder. To turn the gimbal on and off, I just have to press this button and it immediately happens. While on the Moza, I have to press the button for several seconds to turn it on or off. Secondly, the Moza Air always starts in the lock mode. But I barely ever use the lock mode, so after starting the gimbal, I always have to change to follow mode by pressing the joystick twice. Not ideal, but not a deal breaker either. On the Moza Air, I can attach something here, so I can use it to attach the gimbal to my body. I mean, it's not perfect, I wouldn't want to go hiking like that, but for filming a wedding, this is definitely acceptable. Finally, I can carry around my gimbal and use my handheld camera at the same time without problems. For both gimbals, you can make adjustments in the software. But on my Beholder this wasn't possible because it would have voided the warranty. Making adjustments in the software is not easy at all anyways and requires a lot of knowledge of the different parameters. While the Moza Air has an app which is set up in a minute and is super intuitive to use. Even though I own the Beholder since 18 months and even though I filmed a lot of projects with it successfully, I still prefer the Moza Air a lot because making turns is so much smoother and the motor of the gimbal seems to work much better. The Beholder is good, no question, but the Moza Air definitely is on another level. I'm afraid my Beholder is now retired.